Poor Winstock, look at that.
All right, welcome back. It's 9:35. We're very excited. Stan Lee. He's almost like a mythical figure, but he's really a guy, all right? Okay, can you accept that? Stan is with us. He's created some of the world's most popular and iconic comic book characters, including the subjects of this year's top-grossing film, a little thing called The Avengers.
Not too bad. Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry.
Here's the man, Stan Lee, ladies and gentlemen.
Such a pleasure.
Why didn't you show the whole thing? I was just getting into it.
Well, I've seen it like about 10,000 times.
Do you know how disappointed your viewers are going to be?
Right.
They were enjoying the Avengers and suddenly they get me.
Just like that.
They're here for now, Stan. You're a failure in your life because you wanted to be a serious novelist, right?
Oh, sure, when I was a kid.
Yeah. So what went wrong?
I ended up in the comic book business. I even had to change my name.
Yes.
I had a real name, Stanley Martin Lieber.
Lieber,
I
yes.
was embarrassed doing comics because in those days nobody had a good word to say about comics.
And there was no future in it.
No future at all.
They were 10 cents and they were thrown away.
I used to say to my wife, suppose I get fired. Where will I go? I couldn't go to the Saturday Evening Post and say, oh, I used to do comics, you know. They wouldn't care. So I had to keep the job. It was security. Who knew that later on I would be interviewed on a Fox?
Wow, unbelievable.
Two glamorous people. And you'd be showing clips and you wouldn't let me see the rest of the movie.
But look at all these characters that you have morphed into, I want to say, into life. I mean, where do you go when you put the words to these characters?
Well, I go to a little secret place that I'm not going to tell anybody
It's
about.
in New Jersey,
I don't need the competition. But right now, the place to go is Stan Lee's Kamikaze Convention,
That's right.
which is going to be, it's starting Saturday, I believe, right here in Los Angeles.
At the convention center.
Yep.
At the convention
And you
center.
know, these comic book conventions used to be just comic books. Now they've become pop art.
Yes.
You have music, you have television, you have movies, you have sports, you have everything.
When people call it graphic novels, are you comfortable with that?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So now you're in the novel business.
Yeah, I'm practically a novelist.
Let me just say this about Stan Lee. There's so much to talk about. But what you did was you took the concept of a superhero, this is me saying it, and made him neurotic. You made him have feelings and doubt and problems and old bills. Spider-Man, you could put him on the psychiatrist's couch, right?
In fact, I've been tempted to do that in some stories.
What light went off in your head to make these superheroes super vulnerable?
Well, I used to read about other superheroes, and there was nothing about their private life that I could find interesting. One of them, when you took off his glasses, you didn't know who he was, and that was it. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to have a superhero who has as many problems in his private life as he has fighting the villains? Because I know about problems, as I'm sure everybody does. So it wasn't that hard to do. A guy who has to worry about money, who isn't sought after by the most beautiful women, and so forth.
Women,
yeah,
right?
That's right, and I can relate to that too.
My question is, we look at the fruits of all your work here. I interviewed him, Stan, about 35 years ago.
And you did a good job.
Stop it. All right, so it was about 35 years ago, and I said to Stan then, how much longer can you do this? Remember? How much longer?
And I said, not much longer.
Not much longer.
Stan, did you ask him the same thing?
I was younger then. No, I like to think of myself now as the Stan Lee of television.
And you are.
Okay.
And there is no greater compliment.
Oh, stop now.
Look at this. This is the actual, from the X-Men that Hugh Jackman wore on the movie. I mean, it's incredible.
I know, it's beautiful.
Now, you know Hugh Jackman, is he this tall?
No, not quite that tall, no.
I'm a little upset that they've never gotten a costume for me in any of my cameos, but I'm still working on it.
But you've also made an acting career out of the fact that you created a lot of this stuff. And you are, how can I say this? And I say this effectively
A
because
wonderful human being.
Stop. No,
You
just let me finish.
All right.
You are a wonderful human being. You were born to be a performer. It's just in your genes, isn't it?
I like trying to entertain people, whether it's through writing or talking on a show or kidding around. You know, when I was younger, I was embarrassed about what I did because I felt other people are building bridges and doing medical research, and I'm writing these silly stories. But I came to realize, people told me how much happiness they've gotten from things they've read and things they've seen on the screen. And I realized entertainment is so important in people's lives. And now to show how commercial I can be, that's why we have the Stan Lee Kamikaze Convention coming up this Saturday.
What can we expect at the convention from someone who's never been there? What can someone expect if they want to bring their kids?
It's wildly exciting. There are all sorts of well-known artists, actors, musicians. They perform, they sign autographs, you can be photographed with them. The crowds are always so enthusiastic because all of their heroes are there, whether they be writers or actors or artists, and it's just a fun gathering of pop art.
Did you ever, before you go, did you ever, no, of course you didn't, ever think that this is going to be $1 billion industry?
Oh, no.
No way.
When I was writing those comics, I've said this so often, when I was writing those comics, I hoped they would sell so I'd keep my job and I wouldn't get fired. That was about the extent of how far you thought.
Have you turned 90 yet, Stan?
In 2 months.
God bless you.
Thank
90
you.
years old. Happy birthday. That's incredible.
The Kamikaze Expo, all day Saturday inside the convention center. Also, Elvira, where's she going to be?
She's going to be right at the convention.
Adam West is going to be there. Elvira's going to perform. There's
Oh, bless your heart.
Bunch of big stars there. At the Vista Theater.
At the Vista Theater, right there on Sunset Boulevard.
Don't get the whole gang ready.
Yes.
Now can we see the rest of the Avengers?
Yes. Oh my God. I love you.